Yeah, you might want to cue up the Queen. Yeah, another one bites the dust, and that would be First Republic. Busy news day. Yeah, I guess it was a good day to be on Fox Business this morning where we got to discuss this. But did see this one coming. I think everybody saw this one coming, especially after First Republic talked about the massive amounts of deposits that were withdrawn from the bank. Anyway, let's break this down. There's so many different aspects. Just get a lot of questions from people. First of all, we'll deal with this one first. Is our banking system at risk? No, it's not. And let me tell you why. You take a look at, we've had 3 bank failures this year. The 3 bank failures that we've had this year, this is according to the FDIC's numbers. Actually, the assets, the valuation of the assets of those banks are actually greater than all of the bank failures from 2008, also from 2009. I mean, you're talking massive banks here, people. First Republic is the second largest bank failure in the history of the country. Done. JP Morgan gobbled that all up. The help of the FDIC and getting some, probably some pretty nice cushiony loans there, about $50 billion worth. Again, banking system at risk? No, it's not. Again, the second largest bank failure in history. Again, I think it was Washington Mutual, I think if I'm not mistaken, was the largest, which really expanded JP Morgan's footprint as well. How did this happen? Try to break this down for you. First Republic, another bank for the rich. Another bank for the rich. I actually had it down here. How would you like this deal? How would you like to be able to get yourself a 30-year fixed mortgage at 1.05%. 1.05%. Yeah, that's what Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook got on a 30-year, $5.95 million mortgage on his Palo Alto home. Yeah, we're not getting those deals. Okay, this is the business that First Republic engaged in. They would tell people, hey, we'll give you these great deals on loans and mortgages. You may not want to sell the stock in your company. We know you're good for it. We'll give you these great deals on these mortgages. We just want you to do your banking here. We want you to deposit your cash here at First Republic. And again, did they hedge themselves against interest rate risk? No. I look at this and I say to myself, did these people actually believe that rates were never going to go up? I mean, were all of the bankers there at First Republic and Signature and Silicon Valley Bank, did they take last year off? Did they not see what the Fed was doing, what they telegraphed they were doing? They didn't happen to take a look at how this might affect the company's balance sheet. Again, I'm all about taking risk. I'm in the business that. But when you manage risk, when you're managing risk in your portfolio, it is very important for you to understand that risk can't lead to ruin. You get it? Risk can't lead to ruin. And it takes me back to probably one of the greatest risk management experts today that is out there, Nassim Nicholas Taleb. And he states, in a strategy that entails ruin, benefits never offset risks of ruin. Rationality is avoidance of systemic ruin. Yeah, you don't say. How is it that these massive banks, how is it that they didn't see this? Listen, you deal, life's all about uncertainty. I mean, that's just the reality, Okay, you're going to wake up, things happen, and you got to deal with a lifetime of uncertainty. This applies to your finances, your financial planning, your preparation that you're doing. Again, a lot of questions that you really are unanswerable. Again, it's about adapting to what's out there, and the inability for these banks to adapt to what the terrain had become. I mean, you set up a business model. You set up a business model that worked if these conditions were present. Those conditions went away. They were no longer. And you didn't do a flipping thing about it. It's mind-boggling to me. It really is. Gets me to another Nicholas Taleb concept that I've written about and I've talked about. As we get into financial preparation issues here on the podcast or on the radio show. It's the concept. It's this. He came up with anti-fragile. The concept of anti-fragility, and he wrote this book about being anti-fragile and what it means. And basically, what he did is guy is absolutely brilliant, and I highly recommend his books. He scoured world languages, looking for a word that is the opposite of fragile. I know many are saying to yourself, "Well, how about robust?" No, robust is not the opposite of fragile. In essence, you take something that's fragile, if you expose it to shocks, what's going to happen to it? It's going to break. Now, if you are something that is robust, we'll compare it. Let's take a look at a Yeti coffee cup compared to a China coffee cup, ceramic. You apply both of those cups to obviously to stress, drop them, break them, all sorts of stuff. The ceramic cup is going to break. The Yeti cup's not going to break. It's robust. But the thing is, it doesn't get better. The opposite of fragile would be when you're exposed to stressors. When you're exposed to stressors, you get better. You become stronger coming out on the other side. And I talk about this. I say you want to have a financial preparation, financial plan that is anti-fragile. You want to deal with slowdowns, you want to deal with recessions, and you want to go into them and you want to come out of them stronger than you were before. We pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves, and we've been highly successful in dealing with manias, panics, crashes, you name it. And again, that's what you want to be. And you got to take a look at the difference here. Take a look at who just took over First Republic. JP Morgan. JP Morgan is, and again, they're in essence too big to fail. They're anti-fragile. They go into every crisis situation. What happens to JP Morgan? They come out on the other side better. Do you see these coy interviews that Jamie Dimon, CEO from JP Morgan, gives from time to time? Talking about, remember when he talked about hurricanes ahead and this is, these things. He loves that. He loves that. Do you take a look at the deal that he just scored for First Republic? He's taken on the loans, and he can put them on their balance sheet, even though that they're underwater. He can do that because, again, these people who signed up for these loans agreed to have their deposits at First Republic. If you don't think he's going to be calling these people up saying, "Hey, you got to bring all that cash here to JP Morgan, or you're breaking the caveats here of your loan, and we're going to have some issues there." He's going to have massive amounts of money flowing in. Again, stressor to the system, JP Morgan gets stronger. These are some of the things that you need to look for when you're investing in companies. And also, like I said, when you're building your own portfolio. You want to come out on the other side ahead. Again, I'm going to talk a little bit about regulation as well here. This Friday, late Friday, I didn't get a chance to cover this Friday on any of the podcasts here. The Federal Reserve's banking supervisors failed to take forceful action to address growing problems at Silicon Valley Bank before it collapsed. Michael Barr, the Fed's vice chair for supervision, said supervisors didn't fully appreciate the extent of the vulnerabilities as SVB grew in size and complexity. When supervisors did find risks, they didn't take sufficient steps to ensure the firm fixed those problems quickly enough. Again, I was thinking about this, and I wished we had gotten to this today on Fox Business because I really wanted to talk about it. Reminded me of the movie Office Space with the Bobs. What exactly do you say you do here is what I'm thinking at this point in time. What do you regulators do? You failed to see this. You didn't appreciate the extent of the vulnerabilities. Are you an idiot? I don't even believe that. I honestly don't believe that. I honestly believe that it was Silicon Valley Bank. It's a woke bank. And is it a woke bank? It was an ESG-friendly bank. No one wanted to rock the boat, just as much as nobody at the SEC wanted to rock the boat when it came to Bernie Madoff when they had the goods on him, well before the time when Bernie Madoff collapsed. Again, you fail to act. What do you do? I mean, can someone fill me in? I'm curious here. Inquiring minds want to know. Can somebody tell me the last time the Fed got anything right at all? I'm going back to, quite frankly, I'm going back to maybe Volcker. Greenspan? No. I can't think of anything. Bernanke, Yellen. I mean, you have to go all the way back to Volcker. I mean, how did you miss this? How did the San Francisco Fed miss this? How in the world did the Fed miss inflation? Oh, it's transitory. How did you miss the financial crisis? I can go on and on and on. One failure after another. What is your purpose? But then again, what are we getting now here? So now you got the Fed wants more power. Fed wants more power. Michael Barr is blaming Congress and his predecessor for Silicon Valley Bank's failure. And what we need is thousands and thousands of pages of more regulations. Yeah. Like we need a hole in the head. Anyway, WatchDog on WallStreet.com.